In Star Trek Strange New Worlds Season 3, Episode 9 of The Broken Circle, the series delivers one of its most emotionally charged and thought-provoking episodes yet, centered around Lieutenant Erica Ortegas, who has been dealing with PTSD from her previous encounters with the Gorn. The episode opens with Ortegas volunteering for a solo mission to investigate unusual gravity waves in an uncharted region of space. Despite some concern about her readiness following her traumatic experiences, she insists she's cleared for duty and eager to pilot the specially modified shuttlecraft Archimedes into the mysterious area. The mission starts routinely enough, with Ortegas collecting data on the strange gravitational fluctuations. However, things quickly go sideways when a wormhole suddenly appears out of nowhere and pulls her shuttle in before anyone can react. The Enterprise crew watches helplessly as Ortegas disappears into the wormhole with no way to track or communicate with her. Captain Pike and the crew are left facing the awful possibility that they've lost her. On the other side of the wormhole, Ortegas crashes on a desolate moon orbiting a massive gas giant. Her shuttle is damaged beyond immediate repair, but she manages to deploy a subspace relay buoy with a mayday message before assessing her situation. The lieutenant immediately shifts into survival mode, setting up a water condenser and searching for food. During her exploration, she discovers something alarming. The moon has a highly elliptical orbit that periodically takes it through the toxic atmosphere of the gas giant, meaning she has limited time before deadly storms hit the surface. The episode's first major twist comes when Ortegas discovers she's not alone. Following strange noises to a shelter built into the rocks, she encounters her worst nightmare, a Gorn. Instead of the immediate attack she expects, the injured female Gorn observes her cautiously. Desperate and with few options, Ortegas makes a tentative truce with the creature that has featured in her nightmares since her previous encounters with the species. Meanwhile, aboard the Enterprise, Uhura picks up Ortega's faint distress signal, confirming she survived the wormhole transit. However, the crew faces two critical problems. The wormhole is mysteriously shrinking, and they have a scheduled rendezvous to deliver vaccines to colonists fighting a pandemic. Despite these challenges, Uhura convinces Pike to attempt a rescue mission by taking the entire Enterprise through the wormhole, a dangerous plan that could jeopardize the ship and its vital medical cargo. Back on the moon, the episode gives us something truly remarkable: the gradual development of understanding between Ortegas and the Gorn. Using her engineering skills, Ortegas creates a rudimentary translator that allows for basic yes-no communication. Through these limited exchanges, she learns the Gorn is also a pilot who crashed on the moon. They begin playing chess together, and Ortegas treats the Gorn's infected wounds with crystalline paste that slows the infection. This relationship development is beautifully portrayed through small moments. The Gorn carve chess pieces from bones, they share food, and eventually they work together to survive. When Ortegas asks why the Gorn didn't kill her, the creature responds that she understands what it's like to be alone and broken. The lieutenant realizes with shock that the Gorn kept her alive not out of necessity, but because of loneliness, challenging everything she thought she knew about these supposedly mindless predators. When the wormhole begins shrinking visibly and the deadly atmospheric storm approaches, Ortegas and the Gorn devise a desperate plan. They repurpose a thruster pack from the Gorn's escape pod to create a massive atmospheric explosion that could signal any searching vessels. The plan is dangerous. They'll be at the center of the resulting fireball, but it's their only chance at rescue. The Enterprise, having made it through the wormhole, detects this massive explosion on one of the moons. Only Erica would be crazy enough to set a planet on fire to get our attention, Uhura exclaims, and Pike dispatches a landing party to rescue their pilot. The episode's most gut-wrenching moment comes during the rescue. When La'an and the security team beam down and find Ortegas with the Gorn, they immediately fire, killing the creature before Ortegas can stop them. Her anguished cries of no and subsequent grief show just how much the relationship had meant to her. As they beam beam back to the ship. A distraught Ortega senses something else at work, shouting at an unseen presence she can feel watching. The truth is revealed when Ortega finds herself confronted by a humanoid figure who identifies their kind as the Metrons, an advanced species mentioned in the original Star Trek. The Metron explains that they orchestrated the entire scenario as an experiment to see if humans and Gorn, two barbaric species determined to destroy each other, could overcome their differences when forced to cooperate for survival. The genuine bond that formed between Ortegas and the Gorn gave them much to consider, though the security team's immediate violent response raised new questions. The Metron informs Ortegas that she won't remember meeting them, but she can keep her memories of the Gorn as they were genuine. This adds a fascinating layer to Star Trek canon, suggesting the Metrons may have been manipulating or observing human-Gorn interactions for centuries, possibly even resetting perceptions between the species. In the episode's emotional conclusion, Ortegas reunites with Uhura, who had fought so hard to rescue her. When Uhura mentions what happened to the Gorn and tries to comfort her, Ortegas makes a profound statement: "She kept me alive. She saved me. She was my friend." Faced with Ortegas' distress about reconciling this experience with her friendship with La'an, who shot the Gorn, Uhura offers simple but powerful advice. You remember her. This episode stands out as one of Strange New World's finest hours, using a classic sci-fi premise to explore deeper themes of trauma, prejudice, and the possibility of connection across seemingly unbridgeable divides. It adds fascinating complexity to the Gorn, traditionally portrayed as mindless predators, suggesting individual variation within their species and the potential for something beyond pure hostility. The revelation of the Metron's involvement connects this episode to the broader Trek universe while adding new mystery. Their statement about possibly needing to reset your perception of the Gorn hints that humans and Gorn might have had more complex interactions than previously shown in Star Trek canon, with the Metrons periodically wiping memories to continue their social experiment. For Ortegas' character, this experience represents a profound turning point. Having faced her deepest fear and found not just an enemy, but a friend in a Gorn, she now carries both the healing from that connection and the fresh trauma of watching her friend die. How this will affect her going forward, particularly her relationships with La'an and her approach to piloting, remains to be seen. The episode also showcases the Enterprise crew's dedication to one another. Despite the risks to the ship and their crucial vaccine mission, they were willing to attempt an incredibly dangerous rescue operation rather than abandon hope for Ortegas. Uhura particularly shines in her determination, even admitting to Pike that she fudged the numbers on their chances of success, a moral gray area that Pike acknowledges can sometimes be justified for the right reasons. As Strange New Worlds moves toward the end of its third season, The Broken Circle stands as a powerful example of what makes this series special: its ability to balance character-driven storytelling with high-concept science fiction while honoring and expanding upon Star Trek's of using space exploration to examine the human condition.